All right, the time is now 6:30. If everyone please rise.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Starting off with roll call. Don Cavella.
Here.
Gary Stavelborn.
Here.
David Saros.
Here.
Travis Irons.
Here.
Ted Dumaine.
Here.
Scott Charlwood.
Here.
Tom Sinkowitz. And Scott Gardner is excused absence. All right, moving right along to new business. To discuss results of recount of May 20th, 2019 referendum and any possible adjustments or discussion on the fiscal year 2019-2020 budget. So I know some people actually present with us were able to attend the recount yesterday. I was not. I was on business travel. But of course the results were in, and as predicted, nothing changed with the end results of our referendum. There was, of course, a little bit of a fluctuation when it came to some of the no votes on each one of them, but nevertheless, again, the results remain the same. So it's important for everyone to be clear on that, because I know some people resort to social media to get results, and there can be misinformation certainly on that. So I actually have the official head moderator's report, and I know some people have already probably been able to view that already, but in case anyone here did not get to see the actuals, please come see me, and I have a copy right here, and it also compares to what the initial counts were before they did the recount for each one of the questions. So that's where we stand on that. Going into the budget, one thing I wanted to ask is there was a recent question that came up from one of our board members, Mr. Charlwood, and I just wanted to check in with him to see if we got anywhere when it came to verifying commercial value dropping, while house values, of course, increasing greatly. I know you had reached out to Mary Ellen. I'm just curious where you got with that.
She gave me a statement. The first email I thought was pretty vague. The second email, she talks about income valuation, which when you look it up online, so I got to get more clarification, because when you look it up online, it refers to rental properties, not to businesses like Kobe Lock. I understand the whole Lowe's thing where she says there was a lawsuit and we lost, but some of the other businesses that have gone down, I don't understand how she's using income valuation when, again, everything online points to it being that's rental property, not commercial businesses. So I'm still interested on how she's getting some of these valuations that are going on.
All right. I can certainly request, if you want, for her to be present at the next meeting.
That's fine.
You know, and then if she can have anything else besides what she said in the email, maybe anything on paper for us.
Because if it's valuation, if it's income like that, then, you know, how does she know what the income of Kobe Luck is? Are they turning in income statements? If they are, then it would be interesting to see stuff like that on how she's coming up with this on an income valuation.
Yeah.
Because the commercial realtors I talked to said everything is selling high right now. So it makes no sense that commercial values have gone down when everything is selling high, and a lot of times it's above asking price. And I understand there could be a difference between a bank valuation and the town valuation, but again, things are selling high, so why did things go down that last valuation?
Okay.
I have a question. How do we base that value? I don't know. How
Well,
is
that's
that evaluation assessed from the town or wherever of that business?
Well, that's what I mean.
Is it assessed every year?
So her answer to me, no, it's assessed
Okay.
every, but we noticed it with the valuation that it went down. Or I had some citizens contact me who were very concerned that when they looked at some places like Lowe's, we saw a $1.1 million drop in value, which cost us $118,000 in taxes. So there was some concern there, and then there was some other businesses people looked at that were the same way. So the concern is my house and it's on mine, their thing was, my house value went up 30%. How can these businesses go down 20, 30%? And is their valuation covering all these businesses' valuations going down? And again, her answer to me was, both are based on income approach, which is the scenario for those two properties. And then as for Lowe's, decrease was due to a court stipulation. So when you look up online and you Google income approach for commercial property values, it talks about rental properties. It does not talk about regular business. So unless we have businesses handing over income statements, I have no idea how she would understand what their income is. So it's just a question. Because again, I had a couple of citizens reach out, ask me the question, so I told them I would ask her.
Yeah.
I thought they took an assessment of their equipment inside, the value of their equipment inside.
So when
if they move out equipment and they have their yearly review of their net assessed equipment, that their value could go up or down. I thought, I may be wrong, that may be another thing that they assess, like taxes on the property.
So I looked up Rogers Corp., who bought Griswold Rubber. Their real estate, they get two tax bills, one for personal property, one for real estate. The real estate went down $4,000 in taxes, but the personal property went up $4,000.
Okay,
So there's two assessments.
okay.
Some businesses you'll see, I looked up about 20 businesses. I only gave her 2-3 examples. Some of them you see same thing happening, but a lot of times it's the real estate went down $5,000, but the personal property only went up $1,000. So it's not equaling out. So there's still a loss there. Now she gave me examples. It's funny because all the ones I looked up I saw decreases, but then she gave me a whole bunch that were increased, which is fine. That's why I'm asking the question though, because the question came to me, so I asked her.
It's a fair question.
Yeah. All right. I will follow up with her, see if she has anything additional that she can provide to the Board of Finance, and then maybe she can even attend the next meeting.
Yeah, because I can understand it. I mean, because my taxes on my duplex that I used to have went down 2 years last when they did the revale, but my house went up. But again, I would question how did she know to lower my value when she had no idea what I was charging for rent.
When we do the eval, they determine what the property is, I thought.
I don't know.
They don't consider rent or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, when you look at the explanation she gave me, it says it does consider the rent.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Ron, see that we got the handout here for the new round of cuts. Anything you want to add to it? Seems pretty straightforward.
No, you know, I think we were asked to present an additional $50,000 in cuts to total $100,000 reduction when combined with the Board of Education. We saw a few places we can trim. Some of the bigger cuts we made was to salt, sand, and gravel. It was not as significant winter, therefore we have a lot of reserves that we can move over to next year, and we were able to take $10,000 from that budget. And then the animal control land, that's about $30,000 reduction, which is not funded this year, and hopefully we can make it to next year before the ban breaks down, and we'll fund it in the next fiscal year. But for the most part, those two make up $40,000. The rest is a little less substantial. That's it.
How did we come up with the $4,000 in the audit?
Well, the previous audits were overfunded, so the other audits were funded roughly $6,000 less than what was appropriated each fiscal year for the last 2 years. So we just said 4,000 give us enough security, given we have a new RFP out right now. It's
She set that up, we set that up so we have the money bail every time it comes around.
correct. Yeah, you're right, but we've had the same auditor for the last 6 years, which is against state regulations. You're supposed to switch them every 3 years. They were on annual contracts, so they'd be renewed every
When did their contract expire?
Well, it's over. We're not gonna, we can't go back to the same auditor we had last year. It would be against state regulation. So we have an RFP out right now.
We have to bid out.
Yep.
Okay. I knew that had to be somewhere around somewhere.
It is, yep. And we have one on the website, and it's currently with the GFOA website and with the Government Finance Officers Association, and it's going to be posted ASAP to the state procurement website.
I have a question. On general fund, page 9, the engineering firm, you had $36,000 originally. The newest one, you have $33,000, and with a difference of $36,000. Well, I mean, it shouldn't even been touched at all from the previous one.
Say, wait, hold on.
Yeah, the previous one was proposed 36 and 36.
Correct.
100%. This one says 33 and 36.
So the percentage change calculation didn't go through when these were printed up, but it's 33,000. Every other calculation under the adjusted proposed column for 2019 to 2020 adds up perfectly. You're just looking at the variance between the previous year and the...
Well, we didn't have a previous year.
Correct. It's just it's an insignificant correction. I think you can do the math between the two. There's no changes, but it should be 33 instead of 36.
Well, it's been 36 since day one, hasn't it?
Well, we just reduced the general count. If you look at the summary, it says $3,000 reduction. So that's one of the cuts being made among the most recent.
That's what that is?
Correct.
General.
Yeah.
All right. All right, that's what that is. Engineering, I should say. Yeah.
Any other discussion on the adjusted budget here reflecting the $50,000 cuts? No discussion, no questions? Okay, very good. Moving on to citizens' participation. As always, a reminder, keep your comments, questions, or concerns specific to the special meeting agenda and what we discussed this evening. And please state your name and address for the record. Opening the floor.
John Peterson, this comment was towards Mr. Charwood. Perhaps the way they assess the real estate value on commercial property is because a lot of businesses will have a separate company for the business and they rent it from themselves. So perhaps that's how they're figuring it. Because technically, that corporation is renting it from someone. It's just a dummy corporation they created.
Could be, yep. Because I know we
And
do.
as far as your rental income on your duplex, wouldn't the government have access to that if you were doing it and claiming it?
But for the 20-something years I owned it, I charged the same rent for 20-something years.
Right, so it would show up on your taxes, correct?
Yeah.
So the government would know what you were charging for rent.
So you're telling me she's accessing everybody's IRS forms?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's a possibility.
But in that scenario though, so think about that, Sean. In that scenario, again, I charge the same rent for 22 straight years,
Right.
$950 each side. So then why would my taxes go down when I'm charging the same rent? And then why would they ever go up?
I can't answer that, but I'm just saying that perhaps that's how it went.
Yeah, it was a question I asked her because a couple people brought it up to me. Because there's concern.
Okay, thank you, Sean. Other citizens' participation? Yeah.
Dan Reel, Doherty Ave. Actually, a few things. One, I was kind of thinking about last time I'd been here and commented on the budget. One of the items I raised was the legal budget went up by 10 grand, and currently previously it was at $100,000. I'm a paralegal. I get how the legal business works. I've reviewed the cases that we have online. I couldn't honestly justify having that much budget set aside for an attorney. So, I mean, if it were my call, if it were my choice, I'd drop that budget by $30,000 easily. The other thing is, I didn't know if you had a chance to find out about that unclaimed property fund yet.
Yeah, Ron, I had mentioned that to you, it's like on your second or third day here, I gave you that. It was dated from like back in September, but Dan had provided us with that list of unclaimed income. I don't know if you had a chance to look.
I have not. I can't provide an answer right now, but I can get back to you.
Yeah, I mean, because all it would take is someone who is authorized to fill out the affidavit, you know, bring it to the town clerk, notarize it, walk it to the mailbox. The state treasurer will send us a check in whatever amount. Even if it's $50, it helps. Hopefully, that would be great if it was tens of thousands, which you never know. But we really could have a publisher's clearinghouse moment, but we don't know until we spend the postage. Otherwise, as far as a result on the budget vote, I think as a board, you should take it two ways. One, I think it was a referendum on the ECS number, which, how can we make a decision if we don't know what the state's going to commit? And it would be a bad decision to make. And personally, as I intend to raise at the town meeting, we should do two things. One, you know, we should table, you know, that item for at least a month until there's a real hard ECS number. You know, and two, we should resolve as a town meeting, as a body, as a town even, to tell the General Assembly, give us a real number. How can we make these decisions without a real number? Because we don't want to be in a position we were in 2 years ago, where we're telling property owners, could you pretty please pay your taxes in advance? I mean, you know, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, the town charter might not allow us to do this, might not allow us to do that. But let's face it, you know, it is a scenario where, you know, unless we take a stand, we're going to run into this thing over and over and over again. So I would just bear that in mind going forward and say sometimes the best decision is, you know, not to make one until we have accurate information.
Thank you, Dan. Other citizens' participation? No? Okay. In that case, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, got a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, we got a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, sorry, you got something there.
So far, these are all something that happens in the 15 right. So we're going forward then, after tonight with the, 380, the first one there.
Yeah, so the reduction, based on the $100,000 reduction, the mill rate increase drops down to 0.382. So the total mill rate will be,
But yeah, we could be 382 instead of,
the new proposed mill rate for fiscal year 20 would be 28.34.
But you got the hearing on Wednesday, Donald.
huh?
There's the hearing on Wednesday,
Right.
and then it could change if
It could-
somebody
Yeah.
made that motion.
Change it back.
And then we have the meeting immediately following.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any other discussion? Okay, the motion is on the floor to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.